Welcome to this second part of my tutorials in which I'm looking at making some 3D text light. And remember from the first one that what I'm trying to do here is, let me get the right screen here, that's what I want to show you, is take the fantastic custom nameplate that Kevin Kennedy made on his product design online channel here and basically tweak it a little bit so that it works better as an LED illuminated name plaque. So in the first video there, I basically looked at changing the way that I created the base plate here for this, making it thinner and just thinking a bit more about the dimensions that we build this to. Now what I'm going to do is talk about the text going on top and also the way that he puts in um, the side profile here in order to be able to make the sweep for the text. So let's first of all just look at the text itself. So what he's doing here is he's creating a new sketch, and when Kevin does that, I keep calling him Kennedy. When Kevin does that, he right-clicks on this top work plane and he then goes to create new sketch. I'm just going to do it a different way. So he right-clicks here and he goes to, where is it now? I never do this, create new sketch. Okay, there it is. Instead, what you can do is just go to create sketch, and then you can select where you want to create the sketch. So you can see at the moment, as I mouse around, I'm getting all sorts of different work planes I can build on. I want to build onto this top work plane like so. And if I just go into 3D here by right-clicking, you'll notice that the grid paper there is actually sitting on top there of the base plate that we drew in the last tutorial. Okay, that's great. So let's now therefore create some text. I'm going to view down onto this work plane. And one of the things I've done with this is, I know that this is 40 millimeters in height, so I can see that I've got a grid here. This grid has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares up. So that tells me that if this is 40 millimeters, each square is 5 millimeters. And in fact, I can see with the grid spacing here, look, that's 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm going to start my text 1 square long and 1 square up, which is going to make it 5 millimeters from the corner. And I'm going to put my text in here right now. So I'm going to put in here, yeah, let's just go with the text I had before. Okay, let's go with design. Now, this is interesting because when Kevin did this, if you remember, he had it so that his text was actually not horizontally across the x-axis, but horizontally up the y-axis. That when he put his text in, everything lined up perfectly. I found this, I don't know if this is a bug with Fusion 360 or just something that I do wrong, but when I do it like this, the text appears upside down. So what I'm going to have to do now is drag round with this circle here, bring this round into the right orientation, or of course, I could, if I just put that back there, I could dial in here, 180 or negative 180, and then if I just tab that, then that will lock it in position. Okay, right, this has also got, let's see what it is. It has a height of 10 millimeters, and I can see the height over here as well. So I'm thinking that this wants to be 40. Let's see what that does. And as a result there, yeah, it is slightly, according to the blue profile, it's slightly less. Let's see, that's 40 millimeters. Yeah, that's really strange because the text, the dotted frame on the outside is definitely 40 millimeters in height, but it goes obviously off my drawn rectangle because I drew this rectangle here. This base is 40 millimeters in height, and this is 5 millimeters along and up. So yeah, that would be 5 millimeters up and along from this top corner of the box, but the text isn't filling it. Very, very strange. And if I try some different values in here, if I put it to 30, which is what it should be, if I dial in 30 and press tab, you notice here this is the right size to fit in the box, but the text just isn't filling it. So some strange things happening here. Also, if I come back to this view here, my original design, I want to make sure that this text is as big and chunky as possible, because if I'm going to shell this out so that the light shines through into these letters easily, then I want to make sure that I've got big chunky letters to shell. If I have skinny letters like this, then I won't be able to apply the shelling because I've got to consider wall thickness for these letters as well. So let's see, my dialog box here for my text has disappeared. If I click on this, double click on it, it's come back. There you go. Right, so let's come through here and let's have a look at some of these text options. this looks really, really junky, but it still isn't the right size. So what I'm going to have to do here is play around with this height value. Let's see if I put 50 here. Okay, that's obviously not working. Let's try 40. Okay, so that's almost there, isn't it? In fact, in a way, let's see, do I really want to have it so that the text comes to the end here? Maybe I'll look at that in a second. Can I take this to 42? Ah, look, that's almost there. Let's try 41. Have that there. Let's try 40.5. Let's try 40.2. So you get the idea. I'm just kind of playing here. I think I'm going to go all the way to, yeah, I'm just messing around now, aren't I, really? Why don't I just do 41, for goodness sake? Almost there. Let's do 41.2. Now is the time to forward fast the video. I'm going to go with that. That looks good. That is 41.3. That looks really, really cool. And interestingly, yeah, no, I'm going to go with that. Now, of course, the deal as well is here, maybe you don't have all the fonts that I have on my home PC here. Now, obviously, if you haven't got that font on your computer, you won't be able to work with it. You're going to have to try and find something else. But I'm just going to confirm that there. And that looks good. Okay. Just obviously something else to consider here as well. If I double click on this again to edit the text, you could always make it bold. Now, in this case, it seems as if this artifact element heavy doesn't have a bold version of the font. I could always experiment as well by going to italicize, but then of course I'll have to change the size of the text so that it fits the space that I have. So I'm going to turn that off there. I don't think undo is working there. Let's just make sure that's clear. Okay, so that is the text in place. What I also want to have a look at now is the way that the profile has been placed for the sweep effect. So first of all, let's just finish that sketch. Let's now just do a new sketch, and this new sketch, of course, here wants to be on the side work plane. Now, as it turns out here, what he does is he clicks here on the side of the box. But what I can also do as well, knowing that this, I've got here these work planes available in this origin view, I could simply click on that side work plane. That's another way of doing this, okay? And now I'm going to look at how I would alternately create this kind of profile. So let's sort of see here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a line tool, and I'm going to put some control lines in here just to basically work out where I'm going with this. So the first thing I want to have here is I'm going to have, let's see, I'm going to have a vertical line here, okay, vertical line straight up. And with this line, I've drawn the line, I'm going to press escape to finish that. I'm going to select the line, I'm going to make this into a construction line. Okay, and that's going to give me some guidelines to work with. Now I'm going to make a new line. I'm going to put this line over here. I'm going to make it again 25 millimeters in height. Let's just confirm that and right click and OK to finish this time. I'm also going to select that, make that into a construction line, and I'm going to put a dimension line in now. And this dimension line is going to be, let's just escape everything. This dimension line is going to be the distance between this line and the origin. And I'm going to set that to be 25 millimeters. And then, okay. In fact, no, I don't want 25. Hang on a second. This is 40 millimeters, not 50. So I want it to be the halfway point. I want it to be 20 millimeters. My mistake, excuse me. And then the next thing I'm going to do is do one more construction line. And I'm going to have this construction line just defined here. I'm going to have this appearing. Let's see, actually, no, I'm going to have this. Is he going to snap in on this? No, you see, it's not snapping into that. So let's now have a new construction line, which is going to come all the way along here like this. Okay. I'm going to right-click and OK. I'm going to select that line, make it a construction line, and I'm going to come to a dimension line tool. Did I say it was the D key? I don't think I did. I just rushed through it. Dimension line is D key, okay? And I'm going to just escape that for a second. Sorry, D key again. The distance from that construction line to the origin is going to be, and look, this is 1.503. I want that value there to be 1.5. So what Kevin was doing here basically was, and if I notice here as well, look, that dimension line, I don't like this. That dimension line goes all the way through the that construction line, and it makes the construction line basically appear like a solid line. So actually, I'm going to delete that dimension line. I want to do that again. Press the D key. I'm going to go for the origin, and I'm just going to take it through. Let's have a see. Let's try and take it through to that point there. Okay, that's not liking that. Let's have a see. Let's do that again. D key from the origin through to that point. Yeah, and this time, look, now it has kept the dotted line. If I just turn off the bodies here so I can't see them, yeah, now I've kept that dimension line. I've kept the dotted line, the construction line. That dimension line was covering the construction line before, which seems very strange. And it does that sometimes. I want to really make sure I pull that dimension line off the drawing. In fact, I can see the same problem is happening right here. Can you see this dimension line is also kind of completely obscuring that construction line? So again, I'm going to delete that, bring in the dimension line, and let's see if I do this again from there to there. Look at that, and now it's not. I don't get that. There's got to be a reason for that. Okay, is this mission critical? Maybe not, but I'm just trying to make sure that my CAD file is as clean as possible. So I've got these construction lines on here. Let's bring that body back in again with the eye, which is something else that Kevin didn't talk about. And now what I'm going to do is add in this arc. Now he went with an arc and he went with a 3-point arc. I'm going to go with a center point arc. So it says select the center point, then select the start point and select the end point or specify an angle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have this as the center point. So I'm building it on top of the base. I'm going to have this as the start point, and I've used the construction lines here to create this framework that I'm going to build around. And then I'm going to create here the arc I wanted to project through. Now, here's the thing. I've got a choice now. I could specify this, for example, to be 45 degrees, and that's going to allow me when I do the sweep to just do the whole sweep all the way to 45 degrees. Or what I can do is specify that to 90 degrees, have the sweep all the way up, that's going to give me this element of control over how far the text sweeps, which is what I am going to go with. Okay, so let's just see what we have got here. We have got this line, which is going to be the sweep profile, and that is positioned right in the middle of this 40 millimeter wide or tall nameplate, and I've defined that position by using these construction lines. So that is far more complicated than what Kevin was doing, but I'm looking at this more from an engineering perspective and really being able to control my sketches and having them dimension driven. Okay, so let's just finish that sketch at that point. I'm going to pause the video here, and on the third video, I'm going to look at applying the sweep and then shelling.